If you want to give out blame, you have to take your part of the blame too. And if you don't want to, then you have to sit here and not. If you don't blame anybody else, don't blame yourself, don't blame anything. But if you're going to, then realize that you don't have a choice but to do the opposite on the other end. I mean, not to do the opposite, but to do the same thing on the other end. So if you're projecting it out, you're projecting it in too. Understand that. And when you're projecting it in, you're projecting it out too. Think about two sides of the equal equation. You gotta do one thing. When you do one thing on this side, you gotta do it to the other. It's never, or else they're not going to equal each other anymore. Or else the equation doesn't make sense. Right? So if you can't look on both sides of the equation and understand why that when you're going to affect it, right? If you're going to affect this equation, you don't control if it affects the other side. If you don't understand that you control if it affects the other side, you don't understand it, right? Because you're going to enact something that you think you have control over. You're going to be like, okay, I'm motivated right now. I'm motivated. Let me go do push-ups, boom, boom, boom. And then your motivation is going to drop. You thought you had control, but the motivation, the video that made you get up and do those push-ups actually had control over you. Literally. Make it simple, right? When you're doing certain things, when you're doing small things, break them down, understand why you're doing them. Why am I really doing this? Don't stop doing it. Just understand why you're doing it. And if you don't want to do it after you understand it, then don't do it. But I'm not to tell you not to end it either. But understand that past that point, if you end it, you may genuinely never experience again. So do you really want to do that? And that is the thing that keeps us here. You have to understand why we stay here. Why do we stay here? Because we like to experience. We like to believe that this is the only experience. And if it just so happens that it is, understand that, okay, that's why we're still here. That's why I'm still living. That's why I'm still here. You feel me? And then understand that this experience isn't a finite experience. So you're not just going to always feel the way you feel right there. You're not always going to feel the way you feel then or feel the way you feel. You mean, if you get happy and you think you're going to feel happy all the time, you're going to be very sad when you get sad. You feel me? So when you have people telling you to feel these things at certain times in certain ways,